Mason Kussmaul show today. Really looking forward to be here on this Sunday evening. Welcome in. Make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode of the Mason Kussmaul show. And once again, this is the Mason Kussmaul show. Welcome in. All right. First, I want to start off with saying I announced in my last video that we were gonna do. I was gonna start doing sponsorships, and I have got a decent amount of sponsors since Wednesday, so which is really good. Today's video is sponsored by Primitive Health Chiropractic and Wellness Center in Marquette, Iowa. And you can include a description if you wanted to. And once again, you can still be a sponsor. Email me at masonkussmaul@gmail.com if you're interested in being a sponsor. And you can include. I ask you to include your business name, your business location, and this is optional. You may include a description. In this case, this person, my mom, did. So I'm going to read it to you now. Primitive Health Chiropractic is a thriving prenatal, pediatric, and family practice located in Marquette, Iowa. Dr. Megan loves caring for kids and families in all stages of health, healing, growth, and development. You can follow her on Facebook and Instagram at Primitive Health Chiro or visit her website at primitivehealthchiropractic.com. And usually I'll say the business or the sponsor twice a video, so I'll say like again. So thanks to Primitive Health Chiropractic for sponsoring this video. All right, let's dive right into the weather forecast for the upcoming days. Right now it is 68 degrees. It is a beautiful evening. Today's high is 71 degrees. It probably feels a little bit warmer than that. Today, this weekend I stayed with my family at our cabin in Millville. It's in the woods. It's on a pasture. It's really nice because it was turkey hunting this weekend, and it was actually today was the nicest day. Yesterday was a relatively nice day. It was cloudy during most of the part of the day, but then it got nice in the afternoon. But today was a very nice day. We're about average for what we should be in May. May typically is mid-60s is the average temperature, but looking at the extended forecast, which I'll say in a few minutes, it's looking beautiful. So let's dive right into that. Next 6 hours, Fox Weather is giving me mostly clear. Lows overnight will be in the low 40s, which we should be there in the low 40s. Now, if we were in low 40s as the high, I would probably be getting a little, I don't really like this. That's below average temperatures. We don't really want that. I want above average temperatures. But yeah, it says it's getting down to 39, which is not bad. Tomorrow we have cloudy skies. Early will become partly cloudy later in the day. High of 66 degrees and a low of 41 degrees with winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour, which is not a bad wind speed. 5 to 10 miles per hour is a relatively good wind speed. So tomorrow, not going to be as warm as today. It might feel like it, but it's not going to be as warm. Which 66, where we should be, normal temperature, average for May. Going into Tuesday now, partly cloudy with a high of 76 degrees and a low of 45 degrees with winds light and variable. So not a bad day. Tuesday is going to be a really nice day. Partly cloudy, 76 degrees. And the thing with the 70s is it's not too hot, it's not too cold, it's just right. It's the Goldilocks temperature. It's not too hot, not too cold, it's just right. So once you get into the 80s and 90s, that's not really comfortable. Going into Wednesday now, hopefully the next day of the Mason Kussmaul show, and I'll get into why I said hopefully at the end. Mostly cloudy with a high of 77 degrees and a low of 50 degrees with winds northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. So it's going to be the warmest day on our forecast so far, but there's going to be more cloud cover compared to all these other days. So as we get towards Wednesday, we're going to kind of inch closer to cloud cover and all that. So that wraps up our weather segment. And once again, I use the Fox Weather app. This is powered by Fox Weather. There's your forecast for Monday through Wednesday. Let's go now to Milwaukee Brewers baseball. So the Brewers just wrapped up a series finale today with the Cubs beating them 4-0 after previously losing to them. The Cubs' record is 21-14, and the Brewers' record is 17-18. The final score. So that's your game recap for today. I believe that started around 12:31-ish. I was listening to it while I mowed my lawn. Going into tomorrow, though, the Brewers will take on that Houston Astros at 6:40 p.m. tomorrow. And again, all games are in Central Time. You can probably catch that on your local and whatever you stream the Brewers on. Tuesday, May 6th, the Brewers will again host the Astros at 6:40 p.m. So the same there, no change in time, same team too. Wednesday, May 7th, at 12:10 p.m., the Brewers will play the Houston Astros again. I'm not really sure where the location is. It doesn't give me the location on here. But they will wrap up their series with the Astros on Wednesday. So that's Milwaukee Brewers baseball. Let's go now to River Ridge School District athletic and academic events for Monday through Wednesday, powered by you. For more information on this, go to rrsd.k12.wi.us. Let's get started. Monday, tomorrow, at 8 a.m., high school events. The AP Biology exam is coming up. That sounds hard and difficult. I'm glad I'm not taking that. Elementary events from 8:10 a.m. to 3 p.m. The fourth grade will take a field trip to La Crosse. And I remember when I did that, we went to a planetarium up there, and we went to the Genoa Fish Hatchery, and I believe that's where they're going as well. So, a field trip that will take most of the day. High school events tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Track Varsity Invitational at the Fenimore High School. Opponent will be Argyle, Benton, Cassville, Wazeeka-Steuben, Boscobel, Southwestern, Iowa Grant, Riverdale, Perdocene, Darlington, Seneca, River Ridge, Cuba City, Tri-State Home, Ithaca, Winnewaca Center, Fenimore. That's the first time I've never been able to pronounce something on here, so I apologize if I didn't pronounce that right. So that will be at the Fenimore High School, and that is a varsity invitational. High school athletics tomorrow at 5 p.m. is a baseball varsity game against Pecatonica home at the River Ridge School District. So that's your RRSD events for Monday. Going into Tuesday now, high school events starting at noon is high school picnic. So as just saw the weather forecast there, it looks like it's going to be nice. It should be about 70 degrees by then. So it should be nice there. Middle school athletics at 4 p.m. is a track middle school invitational at Fenimore High School. Opponent will be Cassville, Lancaster, River Ridge Middle School. Cassville, Lancaster Middle School, Platteville Middle School, Boscobel, Southwestern, Cuba City, Iowa Grant, Mineral Point, Dodgeville, Perdocene, and Fenimore. And again, that is a middle school track meet tomorrow at 4 p.m. in Fenimore. High school athletics at 5 p.m. is a baseball varsity game away against Potosi Cassville at the Potosi High School. High school athletics again at 5 p.m. Softball varsity game away against Potosi Cassville at the Cassville High School. High school athletics again at 6:45 p.m. Baseball JV game away at against Potosi Cassville at Potosi High School. High school athletics at 6:45 p.m. Softball JV game away at Potosi Cassville against Potosi Cassville at the Cassville High School. High school athletics at 7 p.m. Baseball JV game away against Potosi Cassville at Potosi High School. I don't know what that's for. I don't know why I said JV game twice. It says JV game twice on there. That might not be correct. May 7th, Wednesday, high school events is a large group festival at the Wazeeka High School. I'm not sure what that is. That's the first time I've ever heard that. High school events at 8 a.m. is the AP English Lit exam. That also sounds hard. And that will be in class. Elementary events from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Third grade field trip. I believe they're going to Stonefield National Historic Site in Cassville. Not a National Historical Site. My sister will be going on that. High school events from 3:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. FFA Greenhouse Plant Sale at the River Ridge Greenhouse. in the parking lot of the school. And a district event at 5:30 p.m. is a regular board meeting in the River Ridge Middle/High School multi-purpose room, so towards the back of the school. Well, that wraps up our RRSD athletic/academic events. For more information on that, please go to rrsd.k12.wi.us for more information. All right, let's go now to Mason's Moment, the section of the show that takes 15 minutes alone. We're already down to 10 minutes. So I'm going to be talking about the end of the school year for River Ridge is May 23rd, so relatively early. I know Fenimore, they get out really soon because they're doing construction on their school, and I think they went in a little earlier too, and in like August. But I'm going to be talking about like, some kids are like, school's out, I'm going to get bored in the summer, and I'm a really busy guy in the summer. I'm not a guy to typically get bored a lot. But there are times where I will get, like, we'll be home someday and I'll sit on the couch and be like, oh, I'm bored. But usually that's a Wednesday or a Friday when my mom does not work on those days. She works on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So usually it's on one of those days when I have nothing to do. I don't have to mow my lawn because, of course, my lawn's already sparkling and it's already short enough. So I don't have to do that. But, and it's kind of one of those times where you're like, I'm like that myself. I'm like, it's a beautiful day outside. Go outside. There's absolutely something to do. And, I'll take my dog for a UTV ride in our John Deere Gator, or I'll bring my lawnmower out, hook it up to a wagon, and haul stuff around it, like weeds and stuff, or if I'm really bored, I can go out and kick dandelions. That would be a good way to get them out of my yard, but I'm not that patient to do something like that, so I will never do that. But, I have baseball games in the summer, and and I think they're going to be mostly on Tuesday and Thursday, and then Charlotte has softball games on Monday and Wednesday. So it's kind of an every other day thing. So we'll be doing something. We'll be at a ballpark every other night, mainly except for Friday. But unless we have a tournament on the weekend, which we'll have a tournament on the weekend, and we'll be home, I believe, on Mondays and Tuesdays, and at some other ballpark on Wednesdays and Thursdays, so it'll be a lot of driving and a lot of miles to get put on the car, especially since we have driven to Cedar Rapids twice to go to the airport there. That's about a 2-hour and 30-minute drive. Then in middle of July, we're going to drive up to Hayward. That's about a 4-hour drive, so a lot of miles to be put on the car, and the car is only like 2 years old, and there's probably about 100,000 miles on there, maybe already. That shows how busy we are. So, and it's one of those times too where, and I don't know if I've said this before, but be prepared to have the show get canceled or postponed or even maybe moved to another date. I said earlier that the Mason Kussmaul show, which is supposed to be on Wednesday, is a maybe because Charlotte's supposed to have a softball game in Bloomington. So I don't know if I'll be able to. Depends on what time it is. We haven't got the time yet, and it will all depend on whether or not I can do it. So that's why I have not scheduled a show yet. I haven't made a date yet. I don't even know if it's gonna be. If I do a show, usually I want it to be. If I'm not able to do a show, I'll try and do it on Wednesday. But if I can't do it on Wednesday, I'll likely just postpone it and wait till Sunday to do it, because usually I'm not that busy on Sunday night unless we're really doing something, because I have school tomorrow and all that, and mom and dad have to work tomorrow. But if it comes to that point where I do have to cancel it, then it is what it is. I have to wait till Sunday then. So that's why I will try and post a video, and hopefully you have your notifications turned on, so that way you will be able to see what time it is, and if it's even on Wednesday. I'll try to post that once I find out if I'm gonna be able to do a video as soon as possible. That's one of those ASAP things where you got to get it done as soon as possible. So I will be keeping in touch with hopefully you, and hopefully, like I said, you have your notifications turned on, so like you never miss an episode of the Mason Kussmaul Show. But anyway, I'm not talking about my show. I'm talking about the end of the year. And going back to that now, when we go up to Hayward, which I'll be talking a lot about soon, is when we go up to Hayward, it's a beautiful place up there. And that's why I strongly recommend that everybody, at least in some point of their life, goes up to Hayward, Wisconsin, goes up to northern Wisconsin, because it may seem like, oh, there's nothing up there. There is, too, something up there. I met somebody, I can't remember who it was, and they're like, I was talking about Hayward, and they're like, you got to do up there? There's nothing up there. And I'm like, obviously you haven't been up there. So it's kind of one of those things where you have to see it to believe it, how good it is. Because you think about all these small town communities, and you get people from like Madison and Milwaukee and Green Bay even. And they're like, well, our city has plenty to do here. We have all this stuff, and we don't ever have to worry about getting bored. Well, just because we're from a much bigger city than you, a much smaller city than you, doesn't mean you're better than us. Because there are a lot of pros and cons in both a city and a rural area. Believe me, especially if you're in a really rural area where the next grocery store is like 45 minutes to an hour drive. That's kind of a hardship, because if you have, say you live in like Wyoming, the least populous state in the United States, and you are from like 45 miles from the nearest city where you could get groceries, all your basic necessities. And I understand that would probably definitely be a hardship for you, because you wouldn't want to talk about putting miles on your car every day whenever you go grocery shopping. And usually people go grocery shopping once a week. Not in my house. We have to go grocery shopping almost every other day, it seems like, because we have a family of 4. We had 3 pets. They're sleeping on the couch right now. So yes, we have to go grocery shopping a lot, and I'll complain. I'll be like, Mom, our refrigerator's empty. And she's like, well, I'm going to the store. Just hold your horses. And I am one of the most impatient people in the world. And it's not just people who live with me who said that. So just ask my friends. They'll tell you the same thing. But going back now, we're not talking about refrigerators. I want to do this right now. The other day, somebody said to me, they're like, hey, Mason, I'm going to tell you a joke. All right. Is your refrigerator running? And I'm like, I think so. Knowing that I don't know what that joke means, because I don't know what half of this new stuff is. And they're like, is your refrigerator running? And I'm like, yeah, it's probably running better than your refrigerator, trying to sound like I'm better than them. And they're like, you better go catch it. I'm like, really, that's a new thing now? So yeah. But anyway, trying to just throw some humor in there. I don't mind jokes once in a while, but sometimes and that's that. I've heard that joke multiple times now. Is your refrigerator running? Well, you better go catch it. And there was one kid in our class who said it to our music teacher, and he had never heard it before, and he kind of had the same reaction I did. So the kid's like, is your refrigerator running? And my music teacher, knowing that it's probably a stupid question, is like, well, yes. You better go catch it. So anyway, going back to summer now, which your refrigerator better be running in the summer, because that's when it gets really hot. So, but anyway, if your refrigerator is running, though, you should go catch it. Anyway, going back up, talking about Hayward now, actually, I'm going to shift from that. I'm going to go to northern Minnesota. When we went up to northern Minnesota, we went up to Bemidji, Minnesota area. And Bemidji is it's a relatively good sized city. It's probably just a little bit bigger than Platteville. Shout out to all my Platteville viewers, if I have any. And shout out to my Bemidji and northern Minnesota viewers, too. I'm not sure I have any, but shout out. Good for you if you're watching this. Think you should take a trip down to Southwest Wisconsin sometime. It's actually pretty nice down here. Probably don't get as cold as you in the wintertime, although sometimes I feel like we're colder than you with all the snow we get. I am glad we are done getting snow, and I've been waiting. In April, beginning of April, I was like, we're done getting snow. Next day, we get snow. I was like, all right, the snow's melted. The grass is starting to get greener. My lawnmower's got to go into slow and implement to get fixed. So I was like, there's definitely going to be no more snow. Well, we get snow. And it's not uncommon to get snow in April. It's actually not. So yeah, after March, I feel like after the spring equinox, I want no more snow. I want nothing to do with winter or snow. Because I said this before, that I'm fine with snow until I get sick of it or until I get cold. But I hate when it's winter time, it's cold, it's windy, and there is no snow on the ground. That's it. It's cold, it's windy, and there's no snow on the ground. There's like nothing to do. And everything's so plain and dry, and there's literally nothing to do outside. Talk about being bored. That's the appropriate time to be bored. When you can't go outside because there is legit nothing to do. But it's a beautiful day right now. I'm looking out the window. It's really nice. And somebody shouldn't say, oh, I have nothing to do today. Well, at least it's not cold and dry and nothing's on the ground and there's nothing to do and everything's dead. And the trees look gross. I've said this before, how spring is like, I said this in my first episode, how I don't really like spring because how gross the trees are when this happened one time, and it was a few winters ago, and Jake, our dog, brings his toys outside, and it must have snowed one night, but like he will bring his toy outside. He'll go up to one of us with the toy in his mouth and go, roar, I want to go outside. So we have to let him out, and I try as best as I can, believe me, I do, to take the toy out of his mouth before he goes outside. But sometimes I'm bored. I'm watching a movie. I'm watching a really interesting show, and I just want to get back to it. So I hustle over to the door right here, and I try to let him out as best as I can. But I don't pay attention because I'm still trying to listen to my show. Because I don't like to pause it, especially if it's live. I don't like to pause it. So I'll let him out, and then he'll leave his toys out, and he will not come back in with the toy. He'll leave it out there. So, and then anyway, it snows that night or sometime, and it snows, and we forget about it because the snow stays there for how many weeks, if not months. And it's finally spring, all the snow melts, the geese are coming back, all the birds that migrated down south are coming back. And I go out and look at my front yard, and I'm like, what has happened here? It's a junkyard out here. You have a duck stuffed animal, a penguin stuffed animal, a cat stuffed animal out there. And they're all like wet and soggy, and it's just gross. The bugs have attached to them, if there are any left. And I'm like, what has happened here? So, and of course, I'm lazy. I don't want to do anything. This was a few years ago, too. Now I'd probably pick them up, because now I'd probably, if I wouldn't, I'd mow them over. So, and now I was like, that's another bad thing about spring. When the snow melts and you see the remnants of everything you forgot in your yard before it snowed. And sometimes, I'll dig my hand in the snow and I'll pull out a frozen stuffed animal, a frozen cat stuffed animal. And I'm like, ew, and throw it back at Jake, because he's the one who brought it out here. So maybe he should take it back. So, he does not care about his stuffed animals. Jake will he'll rip into them, and he'll claw at them, and he'll just take the stuffing out on purpose and throw them on the floor. And how upset does Mom get during that? So that's what he does. And he will jump so fast up on the couch that the cushions will fall off, because on one of our couches, the cushions don't stay on there. I wish they did, because they come off. I'll fall asleep on there one time, and I wake up, and the cushions are barely on there. I'm like, what is this? I don't move around that much, do I? So, yeah, but, yeah, this has nothing to do with summer. That's why I always try to pick a small topic, because I'll end up going off topic and talk about something bigger, like Jake's stuffed animals. That's going to be the highlight of the show. Jake's stuffed animal junkyard. So, but anyway, we got to live with it. Someone's got to pick it up sometime. And if somebody doesn't pick it up, where it goes? It gets sucked up by the lawnmower. And, of course, then it makes an even bigger mess. And then I get upset. Luckily, I haven't sucked up any of his stuffed animals yet. But I've had golf balls, gopher holes. Today I was mowing my lawn, and I was mowing over by the road here, and my lawnmower goes right over this gopher hole, and my front left wheel almost sinks in there. Like, that's that big. So I'm upset. So then after I'm done, I go up to Dad, and I'm like, these gophers and this badger who keeps digging these humongous holes, they're huge, needs to go. So what did I do? Which probably didn't solve the problem as good as it should have, but I went and I grabbed our pond currently doesn't have any water in it, and when it doesn't have water, it just has dirt. So I went and grabbed some dirt down there, because it's actually not bad dirt. And I brought it up, and I filled in every hole. And I was thinking it was going to be a quick and easy process, but it really wasn't. It kind of took a while, and it almost felt like a workout, because it kind of, yeah, it was. I had a shovel. I had my lawnmower hooked up to a wagon, and I put all the dirt in the wagon, and I told my lawnmower around. And this one gopher popped out before I put all the dirt in there. He was like, what's going on? Huh? What's going on? Because they do that when I mow the lawn out there. I want to run them over so bad. And I try to speed up, but my X500 lawnmower, which is supposed to be fast, doesn't get that fast. So yeah. It is what it is. And I try to chase the gophers down, but those things are fast. And if I feel sorry if I run one over, or they get sucked up by the thing? No. I absolutely will not. Anything but a gopher can come, any animal but a snake, a badger, a gopher, or a coyote, or a horse too, no horses, or sheep, talking about our neighbors, whose horses got out today, believe it or not. And let's go to that topic now. They came out, the horses, our neighbors' horses, they're not ours, we don't have horses, and they came out and they come click, clock, click, clock, click, clock, and then what do? They trample on my yard. They come out back here, click, clock, click, they trample on my yard, and I'm like, go on now, get. But of course, I wasn't out there till the last minute when they were all the way back there, when they were all the way in the back of our field, and I'm like, they step in my yard, because I'm going to be seeing that, and if that's just as bad as a gopher hole, because we'll go up and down, because those things, they plant their feet into the ground so much, and they make, marks all over the road, and I'm like, if they were wearing horseshoes, my yard is going to suck, because how deep they plant their feet in there is disgusting, and all that, and then I'm going to run it over with my lawnmower. I'm going to boom, 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 so I'll have all those horse footprints in my yard. I'm like, really? I just mowed today, too, so I'm glad I didn't have to get out there and do it, and it was in the way back of my yard, and I'm lucky it's not the front yard or the roadside, because the roadside is already bumpy enough with the gopher holes out there, and the front yard's the most beautiful of the yards. It's the best one. It's the greenest, probably because the hose gets out there when Mom or Dad water the flowers up here in the front. The front yard gets the remnants of all that water, and it sucks it up, and that's why it's the greenest part of my greenest part of the yard. So it's also the best one to mow, because it's so smooth. There's no gopher holes. Hopefully there's no horse footprints, but there is occasionally dog poop, or maybe even a stuffed animal. Well, I haven't seen one yet. Don't want to jinx myself, because there will be one out there by the end of tonight. Yeah, but anyway, let's wrap up this with saying, End of the school year for River Ridge is May 23rd. So about 3 months, 3 full months for sure of summer, and you get Memorial Day off and all that. And we're pretty fortunate we get out early because that's actually it's pretty good to get out early. It's May 4th today, and you think about it, it's I think about 15 days left of school, which is really good. May 23rd, it's not too far away, coming up, right? Really close. May 4th today, 7 p.m. right now too. So it's really nice too. And I know probably Prairie. I think they get out a little later. I think they'll get out probably after Memorial Day. So whenever you get out of school, whenever you go back to school, just be thankful because some kids they have to go to school all year round, and I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like going to school all year round. I don't know why. Wouldn't like that. I know you get longer Christmas break and longer spring break and all that. We don't have a really long spring break, which is okay because people complain. I wish Christmas break was longer, or I wish spring break was longer, and I say to them, do you want to get out early and have a nice summer? They're like, yeah. There you go. So, anyway, long story short, if you are ever bored or need something to do in the summer, think about going outside and just be fortunate and thankful that it's not the middle of winter where there's no snow, no vegetation, no animals. It's just cold, windy, and there's nothing to do. So just be thankful you're not during that time, and if it's a beautiful sunny day, go for it. Go outside, do something that your parents allow you to do. Don't do something that you shouldn't be doing, because I do not allow that. I condemn all that behavior. So if it's a beautiful day, go outside. If it's a rainy, stormy day, don't go outside. If it's rainy, you don't want to get sick, first of all, unless you absolutely have to go outside. If it's storming, do not go outside at all. Even if you absolutely have to, don't. We don't want to get electrocuted, people. Let's remember that. But long story short, Mason's moment today, end of the school year, what do I do? Go outside. That's what I'm telling you. That's my recommendation for you. All right, let's wrap up today. Thanks for viewing, everybody. Once again, if you want to be a sponsor, email me at masonkussmaul@gmail.com. I ask that you do two things. Number one, tell me your business name. Number two, tell me your business location. And if you want, you can give a little description like today's sponsor did. And once again, today's sponsor is Primitive Health Chiropractic and Wellness Center in Marquette, Iowa. And I'm going to read the description now. Primitive Health Chiropractic is a thriving prenatal, pediatric, and family practice located in Marquette, Iowa. Dr. Megan loves caring for kids and families in all stages of health, healing, growth, and development. You can follow her on Facebook and Instagram at Primitive Health Chiro or visit her website at primitivehealthchiro.com. So thank you to Primitive Health Chiropractic for sponsoring this video. So once again, if you want to be a sponsor, contact me at masonkussmaul@gmail.com. But here's the thing. If you do contact me, thank you. First of all, thank you. Some people have, and I like to thank them. But here's the thing. I try to get you said as soon as possible. But, I only do 2 shows a week, and I have a pretty good list already. So you may contact me today, maybe even, but you might not get said till the end of this month or June. Just because I only do 2 shows a week, and and there's a pretty good list of people on there. But I promise you, I will try and send you a video personally, in whatever way you contacted me. I will try to send you that video so I sponsored you. So I promise I will get to you. And once again, this is free. You do not have to pay for this. I consider this a way to connect with the community, and that's what I want to do here on the Mason Kussmaul Show is connect with the community. So if you've contacted me, thank you. And if you are thinking about contacting me, again, my email is masonkussmaul@gmail.com. No capitalization in there. All right, let's go now to the next show, and it's to be determined. Usually I have it all written up. I usually have it all settled out. But the reason why I don't have it figured out really yet is because Charlotte has a softball game on Wednesday. So I'm not really sure how it's going to go out. If worst case scenario, I don't do a show on Wednesday, I will do my best to do one on Sunday. I will do one on Sunday. I promise you that. Because Sunday is also Mother's Day. So make sure you go out and get your mother, grandmother, great grandmother a gift and wish them a very happy, special Mother's Day. So hopefully, make sure you turn on notifications so you never miss any notifications of the Mason Kussmaul Show. Hopefully you'll have me on there. So once again, everybody, thank you for viewing today. Hopefully I see you on Wednesday. If not, worst case scenario, it's going to be on Sunday. Make sure you turn on notifications so you don't miss any important information. Thanks for viewing, everybody. Have a great rest of your Sunday evening, and hopefully see you on Wednesday. Have a great evening.